Characteristics of an educated person. Do you need to have degrees in order to be considered well-educated? Does it mean being prepared to join the workforce? Are there specific books that one must have read? Definitely not in their entirety. 1. A person with education doesn't unquestioningly accept information, but seeks to verify it firsthand. In this context, the act of personally verifying information allows one to independently distinguish between truth and falsehood, right and wrong, or excellence and error, regardless of the information source, be it friends, neighbors, religious, or political leaders. It is possible that information received may be influenced by personal interests, potentially containing a high degree of inaccuracy to manipulate a situation, or it may be a subjective interpretation. An educated individual is characterized by their capacity to critically investigate and analyze information or situations before taking action. 2. An educated person recognizes their responsibility to leave the world in a better state than they found it. Just as God created humans with the charge to improve the world, individuals are entrusted with a measure of grace to exercise this duty. In Genesis 1:27-28, God's command to be fruitful and multiply is often seen especially in Nigeria and in Africa at large as related only to procreation, unlike in the Western world. But it encompasses more than just reproduction. It implies realizing one's potential and contributing to the betterment of society. Goats, for instance, bring forth other goats, and the same principle applies to humans. It's conceivable that God could create humans overnight, so that upon waking up, we would find additional individuals on earth. However, to grant himself reprieve or rest, he instilled in us the ability to reproduce according to our kind. This ought not to be perceived as an accomplishment, but rather as an opportunity to express gratitude to God. Our fundamental purpose in being born into this world is to manifest the glory of God through our intended roles in creation. No manufacturer produces anything without first considering its function, and this function typically takes the form of responsibilities or tasks. Celebratory achievements emerge from fulfilling these responsibilities. One's legacy is not determined by the number of offspring, but by the impact of the responsibilities discharged, whether leaving the world better or worse than it was found. God designed each person with a purpose, as conveyed to Jeremiah when he said, "Before I formed thee, I knew thee and ordained thee a prophet." Jesus was sent to redeem and bring salvation, re-establishing the connection with God. In Africa, after marriage, the customary next step is to have children, and only after the birth do some parents ponder the child's name. Ideally, before engaging in marital intimacy, it is advisable for a couple to communicate and jointly decide what they aim to create. For example, they may aspire to bring forth a leader who will alleviate Nigeria from suffering. When the wife is giving birth, it is the fulfillment of that function in the form of a child. Sarah, for instance, pledged that if given a male child, she would dedicate him to God as a priest. Consequently, she gave birth to a priest named Samuel. She did not merely give birth to Samuel. Likewise, God did not merely create Jeremiah. He created a prophet named Jeremiah. Each person is born with a unique gift or talent, and the purpose is to bring forth the fruits of their potential to benefit the world. Educated individuals understand this and seek to leave a positive impact in the world, following the example of notable figures that have done the same. For example, when discussing notable figures and their associations with particular concepts or achievements, certain names have become synonymous with these topics. These individuals have made an indelible mark on the world. When considering the concept of salvation, the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth instantly springs to mind, resonating through history and culture as a symbol of reconnection between humanity and God, and not the number of children he had. In the realm of technology and software, the names Bill Gates and Paul Allen are inseparable from Microsoft, signifying the pioneering duo behind this tech giant, and not the number of children they had. When contemplating the invention of the light bulb, it is impossible to overlook the contributions of Humphrey Davy and Thomas Alva Edison, both of whom played crucial roles in its development, and not the number of children they had. The elimination of apartheid in South Africa brings to the forefront the iconic figure of Nelson Mandela, who led the charge in dismantling this oppressive system. The invention of electronic television is forever linked to the name Philo Taylor Farnsworth, a visionary inventor who revolutionized the world of broadcasting, and not the number of children he had. In the context of the Pentecostal movement in Nigeria, the names Bishop Benson Idahosa, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, Bishop David Oyedepo, Bishop David Abioy, Pastor Abel Damina, Pastor David Abiom, Pastor Paul Eninch, Apostle Suleiman, Joshua Selman, etc., are synonymous with its growth and impact, representing key figures in this religious revolution, and not the numbers of children they had. As for the largest family network dedicated to defending the rights of the underprivileged, seeking justice for the voiceless, and caring for the oppressed, it is exemplified by the Brekete family, founded by the ordinary president, Ahmed Issa, in Nigeria. Jesus Christ doesn't have a dedicated chapter in the Bible, yet his presence is evident throughout the scriptures, from Genesis to Revelation. Similarly, when it comes to Paul, there is no specific chapter in the Bible dedicated to him, yet his voice resonates throughout the entire New Testament, overshadowing the mention of his children. The argument about marriage doesn't hold, considering even married apostles like Peter. Despite being married, the Bible doesn't highlight the descendants of Peter and other apostles. When salt and sugar are mentioned in Nigeria today, the name Dangote comes to mind consciously and unconsciously. In the context of Nigeria, the present scenario prompts the question: where are the descendants of renowned figures like Obafemi Awolowo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ahmadu Bello, and Abubakar Tafawa Balewa? The enduring memory of these leaders stems from the impact of their responsibilities and purposes on earth, not because their children seamlessly followed in their footsteps. The legacy of these leaders is sustained by the profound contributions they made during their lifetimes, rather than any familial succession. These are just few examples of many individuals who have significantly improved the world during their lifetimes. 2. An educated person is adaptable and can handle change. An educated individual is open to change, accepting alternative viewpoints or perspectives. In contrast, many in Nigeria hold on to old practices without considering their detrimental effects on society. Uneducated individuals often resist change and insist on outdated methods, even when they are clearly counterproductive or hindering progress. An educated person, when faced with a technological shift, for instance, such as moving from typewriters to computers, embraces the change and the opportunities it presents, even if it may entail learning from a younger colleague. They view change as an opportunity for personal and societal growth. They willingly accept new technologies and adapt to changing circumstances, recognizing that it can enhance their skills and offer new career opportunities. 3. An educated person comprehends human nature and treats all individuals with equal respect, regardless of factors such as gender, race, religion, or ethnicity. It is a concerning issue, particularly in African societies, where lives are often undervalued, especially along religious and ethnic lines, leading to violence. The learned segment of society, not merely those who are truly educated, are frequently responsible for perpetuating such divisions, often for personal gain or political advantage, ignorantly fulfilling the aims and aspirations of the enemies of Africa. It is crucial to recognize that individuals should be free to choose their own paths to spiritual or ethnic affiliation, without being condemned or mistreated by others. We must prioritize our shared humanity over religious and ethnic identities and embrace love, care, and support for one another. Discrimination and violence based on religious and ethnic differences are counterproductive and are often perpetuated by those who are learned, but not necessarily educated. In reality, there should be no superior or inferior paths to a shared goal, just different routes to a common destination. Educated individuals acknowledge the importance of respecting diverse beliefs, values, and affiliations, understanding that we are all humans first, before we were defined by religion and ethnicity, both of which can be denounced publicly, without endangering the life of any human being breathing except self if you think so. 4. An educated person possesses ethical values, integrity, and the discipline to consistently do what is right. It is essential to note that character, attitude, and integrity only holds true when they are constantly demonstrated. Good behavior in the past does not excuse poor behavior in the present. An individual must continue to uphold ethical standards to be considered virtuous. The ability to change and improve one's behavior is crucial, driven by personal decisions and the surrounding environment. An individual's character is not fixed, but can evolve for the better. 5. An educated person is flexible and willing to admit when they are wrong. Humility lies in acknowledging one's mistakes privately and publicly. The ability to say sorry is a hallmark of humility, and it plays a significant role in maintaining harmonious relationships, both in personal life and leadership. Leaders who can admit their errors without losing respect or correcting their decisions are seen as flexible and wise. Pride and ego have often led to the downfall of many leaders and institutions. An educated leader, when recognizing an error in decision-making, has the ability to make corrections without losing respect or can readily apologize to subordinates. This flexibility is a key trait of educated individuals, while pride and ego can lead to the downfall of leaders and institutions. The fundamental purpose of education at every stage is to shape, reshape, mold, and refine the thoughts and ethics of individuals in a constructive manner, enabling us to integrate into an exemplary society, whether through formal, informal, or semi-formal means. At Monday, your Indigenous African voice in critical discourse.